Hi, my name is Amar. Welcome to another video on clinical research concepts. Many beginners think that any number written in a book, report, or research paper is statistics, but that is not correct. A single number by itself is usually not called statistics in the true sense. For example, if I say one patient has a pulse rate of 84 per minute, that is only one fact. It is useful, but it is not enough to be called statistical data in the broader sense. Statistics usually deals with a group of observations, not just one isolated value. It also expects those observations to be expressed in numbers and to be influenced by several factors rather than one simple cause. So, when we talk about the characteristics of statistics, we are basically asking what kind of data can properly be called statistical data. This topic is very important because it builds the foundation for everything that comes later in biostatistics and clinical research. The first important characteristic is that statistics must be an aggregate of facts. This means statistics deals with a collection of observations, not a single observation. For example, the body temperature of one patient is just one medical reading, but the body temperature of 200 patients admitted to a hospital can become statistical data. In the same way, the blood sugar value of one person is not statistics, but the blood sugar values of a group of diabetic patients can be studied statistically. The reason is simple. Statistics tries to understand patterns, variation, and trends in a group. A single value cannot show us distribution, average, spread, or comparison. In clinical research, we usually collect data from many participants because only then we can summarize and analyze it meaningfully. So, the word aggregate reminds us that statistics is concerned with groups of facts taken together. Let us understand this with a simple study example. Suppose a researcher wants to know whether a new iron supplement improves hemoglobin level or not. If the researcher measures hemoglobin in only one patient after treatment, that result tells us almost nothing about the supplement as a whole. That patient may improve because of better diet, better rest, or some other random reason. But if the researcher measures hemoglobin in 100 patients before and after treatment, now there is a set of facts that can be studied statistically. We can calculate the mean improvement, compare subgroups, and judge whether the result looks consistent. That is why an aggregate of facts is necessary. Statistics is meant to study collective behavior, not the story of one individual case. Individual cases are important in medicine, but statistics become more meaningful when many such cases are brought together. The second most important characteristic is that statistics must be numerically expressed. This means the data should be presented in a form of numbers. For example, saying that a patient is young or healthy is vague and non statistical in its raw form. By saying the patient is 24 years old, has a hemoglobin level of 13.2 grams per deciliter, and weighs 58 kilograms, gives us some numerical information. Numbers allow us to count, compare, summarize, and analyze data objectively. In clinical research, most variables are ultimately expressed numerically, such as age, blood pressure, heart rate, cholesterol levels, duration of illness, or number of adverse events, etc. Even qualities like pain or disease severity are often converted into numerical scores using scales. So, statistics requires data to be measurable or countable in numerical terms because only then we can apply statistical methods to it properly. This does not mean that non numerical information is useless. In medicine and research, we often deal with qualities like gender, blood group, disease stage, smoker or non smoker, improved or not improved, like that. At first, these may seem non-numerical, but for statistical analysis, they are usually grouped into categories and then counted. For example, instead of simply saying some patients improved and some did not, we may say 72 out of 100 patients improved, which is 72%. Once the facts are counted or coded, they become suitable for statistical handling. So, statistics does not reject descriptive information, but it needs that information to be transformed into numerical form. This is why tables in research papers often show counts, percentages, means, medians, rates, like that. Numbers make data clear, comparable, and easier to interpret. The third most important characteristic is that statistical data is affected by a multiplicity of causes. This means the facts we study in statistics are usually influenced by many factors at the same time, not just one single cause. For example, body weight is affected by diet, exercise, age, sex, genetics, hormones, illness, and lifestyle. Blood pressure may be influenced by salt intake, stress, medication, kidney function, obesity, and many other causes. In the same way, treatment outcome from a clinical trial may depend on the drug itself or patient adherence, severity of disease, coexisting illnesses, nutrition, and many other factors. Statistics become very important here because real world health data is complex. It helps us in studying the outcomes that arise from several interacting causes rather than one simple reason. This idea is very important in clinical research because patient outcomes are rarely shaped by one factor alone. Suppose a study finds that recovery is better in one group than another, we should not immediately assume that treatment is the only reason. Maybe the patients were younger, maybe they had milder disease, maybe they had received better supportive care, or maybe they followed the treatment more carefully. Good research and good statistics try to account for these multiple causes as well. That is why studies use methods such as randomization, stratification, matching, and regression analysis. These methods helps us to separate the effect of the main factor from the influence of other factors. So when we say statistical data is affected by a multiplicity of causes, we are recognizing that health related data comes from a complex real world setting. Let us combine all three characteristics in one easy example. Imagine a hospital wants to study about anemia among pregnant women attending its antenatal clinic. If the hospital records hemoglobin level for 300 pregnant women, this is an aggregate of facts because it involves many observations. Since hemoglobin is measured in grams per deciliter, the information is numerically expressed. And because hemoglobin level can be influenced by diet, iron intake, infections, socioeconomic status, spacing of pregnancies, and overall health, it is affected by a multiplicity of causes. This makes it a good example of statistical data. Now, compare this with one sentence like one pregnant woman looks pale. That may be clinically relevant, but it is not properly statistical data because it is only one fact, not clearly numerical and not organized for systematic analysis. A common mistake is thinking that any medical observation automatically becomes statistics. It does not. One isolated observation is a medical fact, but not full statistical material. Another mistake is thinking that statistics only studies exact and simple relationships. In reality, statistics often studies data that is influenced by many overlapping factors. Students also sometimes believe that only measurements like height or blood pressure are statistical, while categories like gender or disease stage are not. But once such categories are counted and expressed numerically, they also become suitable for statistics. So the key is not whether the original information is descriptive or measured, but whether it can be collected systematically and expressed in a numerical form for group analysis. When you read a clinical research paper, you will often see these characteristics already built into the study design. Researchers do not usually report one patient's result and call it statistical evidence. They present data from a sample or study population which satisfies the idea of an aggregate of facts. They report findings in numbers such as mean age, percentage of females, incident rates, odd ratio, p value, etc., which satisfies numerical expression. And they often discuss confounding factors, risk factors, and adjusted analysis, which reflects the fact that outcomes are influenced by multiple causes. So, these characteristics are not just textbook theory, they are visible in real research papers and help explain why studies are designed and reported the way they are. So, the main characteristics of statistics are very clear by now. Statistical data must be an aggregate of facts, which means it should involve a group of observations. It must be numerically expressed, which means it should be started in numbers or converted into countable numerical form. And it must be affected by a multiplicity of causes, which means the facts usually arise from several influences acting together. Once you understand these 3 points, you can easily judge whether a piece of information is proper statistical material or just a single descriptive fact.